Hello all saints, the Lord be with you. I've got a story today from the Bible. It's kind of an anti-story, a kind of contrary story, a story that's telling you the opposite of what ought to be the case. It's about a woman who's got an adversary, someone who she's fighting against and taking to court and asking the judge to decide in her favour, but the judge is corrupt. He's not interested in her. She keeps going back and she still can't get the judge to act for her. And she keeps on persisting time after time until the judge gets so sick of her that he gives her what she wants, not because he's a good judge, because he's not. He doesn't take any notice of what God thinks. He doesn't take any notice of what people think. But he's sick of the woman. He's frightened she'll come and attack him. So she gives her what she wants. Jesus tells the story in Luke 18. It's a contrary story, an anti-story. By contrast, God is not like that at all, and God's people do not need to act like that woman. On the contrary, they need to call out to God all the time amongst all their troubles and know that God will always answer them speedily. But there is a little paradox in the story, because Jesus says something like, "Those who call to him night and day, will he not answer them speedily?" But if he's answering them quickly, why are they calling out to him day and night? Why do they keep on calling out to him? Well, like you and I, we all know that the troubles keep coming, that there's a trouble today and another trouble tomorrow, and there are difficulties all the time and they don't go away. And indeed, in the present world, and particularly if you live in Jakarta and other parts of the world where the virus is rampant, the troubles are there. Sometimes they're troubles of great grief as we look at our friends and families suffering, sometimes dying. We see difficulties in relationships in families, difficulties in the political world, and all the time there are these things that are just so frustrating and they can get you down. But Luke tells us why Jesus told this story. He tells us at the beginning of Luke 18 that he told it so that people would always pray and not give up. And that's the encouragement that Jesus gives in the story, that when people call out to God, he will answer them. He will hear what they say. But of course, you know as well as I do that God doesn't always take the troubles away. That's one of the great features of Psalm 23, that although we have a Lord who's the shepherd who leads us to still waters and so on, he's also the one who walks with us through the valley of the shadow of death, through the dark places. He doesn't give us a detour around them always, but when we go through the dark places, he's there with us, strengthening us, comforting us, always there, always a God we can call out to, a God who never gets tired, who never forgets us, who never neglects us, who doesn't have high priorities or has a list of very important people which we're not on. He does have a list of very important people which we are on. His people, what in this passage Jesus calls God's elect, the ones he's chosen for himself, the ones he loves, the ones he's adopted as his own people, you and me. And they're the ones who can call out to him day and night, any time, and know that he hears us and will be with us and is with us and encourages us and brings help alongside. And when the time is dark and difficult, goes with us always, never neglecting us, always hearing us, putting his Spirit in us so that from our own heart the Spirit of Jesus cries out to the Father for help. But there's a question right at the end of this story in Luke 18. When the Son of Man returns, will he find faith on the earth? And I think the question is, when Jesus returns, will his people still be calling out to him, still praying, still faithfully trusting him to hear their prayers and to help them through their troubles? Or will they have given up? The first verse of it says, Jesus told this so that people would always pray and not give up. And when the Lord returns, he'll find us, like at All Saints, because one of the remarkable things that God is doing at All Saints at the moment is helping us pray together. Lots of people praying, all sorts of different ways, but many people, all of us, are praying. And that's a great sign of God's presence and blessing. So let's keep at it. keep trusting and calling out to the God we can trust in, remaining faithful to him just by calling out and saying, please help, please help. We know that you're a God who loves us. We know that you're a God who can. We want you to hear our prayers, and we will keep calling out to you. Let's keep doing it, because that's the God we've got.